Hey everyone, this is Bailey from Smokin Heights, and in today's video Mel and I are going to show you how to dig and divide your Spuria irises. Okay, so I've got my clump of Spuria here that I'm going to dig up. This is actually the last variety that we're going to replant. It's really just the same as any other iris, but these guys are just a little deeper. So these guys are quite a lot more challenging to dig up than the bearded iris, and I'll show you why once I have this clump up. But they have these, the roots, so these are nice healthy new roots. This is what is going to anchor them in for this next year, but what's been anchoring them in is these fibrous roots, and that's what makes them very difficult to dig up. Really every part of these irises is quite fibrous, so even splitting them is a lot of work. Which is why you want to pick a permanent spot when you're planting them. You don't want to have to do this too often. One reason, they don't like it. They prefer to be left undisturbed. And two, because they can be really difficult to deal with. Need a little bit in there. Just making sure I've got it all. Okay, so that's out the ground now. We'll take it over to the trailer and we'll start dividing it. Okay, so I'm going to start dividing this now. I don't think this is any bit that I can save. No, there's no active shoots on this, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Nothing is going to grow from it. Then we've got like little bits like this. They'll be fine. More. These may have been planted a bit too deep. That's why they seem to be, well, they're not actively rotting now, but it seems that they've rotted in the past. You can see on here, like this is where an old shoot would have been, and it's just gone. So, oh well, just get rid of that, and we keep with what's alive. These bits. And you see here, this is 3 years worth of growth. So the original plant here made this plant here. That's bloomed since. So that one's bloomed, this one's bloomed, and our third generation here. I'm going to take that off. There's nothing growing on that. There's nothing growing on that. And yeah, I'm actually just going to take that one off too and get rid of that. No. Let's see if I can find a bit in here that has a little baby shoot on the side to show you what I keep versus what I get rid of. There we go. So in this little piece here, all of this is looking quite dead, but there's this one little bit here that's starting to eye up and become a shoot. So I'm going to keep that bit, but I'm going to chop off everything else. So that can all go. That can go. And then plant that and that should grow. It's starting to green up. But yeah, so another one, like I might be able to save that piece there. That might grow, so I might chop that one off actually too, and we'll keep that. But yeah, bits like this, there's nothing actively growing on it, so we're going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. And keep that bit. I just like to clean them up a little, so I pull the outer leaves off. Yeah, that's a nice healthy bit. Bit of a big clump. I'm just going to check to see if there's any active growing bits on here. I don't think there is, but always good to check. There might be a little bit on the end there, so I'll take that off and get rid of this bit. That bit there, that might turn into a shoot, so I'll keep that.
Hi, it's Mel from Smokin Heights. I have got the honour of planting the Spuria. I do most of the planting here at Smokin Heights, other than when we replant the field to get help. But the Spuria, we can see, they need to be planted deeper than what I see like a bearded iris. Spurias are non-bearded iris, so they don't have a beard. And these guys need to go in a little bit deeper. They need to be well and truly covered with soil. So we tend to plant them between 5 and 10 centimetres deep. Our soil, especially this side here where we're planting today, is quite heavy. So I'll see, like, because we've made these beds a month ago or something now, so we've had rain on it, so they're compacted, but hopefully I can still plant them easily, so we'll give it a go. I just basically hold the rhizome and push it in, and I use my fingers to drive it in, so like I'm not fully using the rhizome so it breaks, but my fingers are also guiding it in as well. Yeah, no hope. The dirt is very soft, but no. So we're going to go like that. We don't trim the Spurias when we're planting them at home. We trim them to put them in the mail because it's easier to post when they're shorter in the mail. But at home, that's how they are. We don't trim the roots, we don't trim the leaves. They just get planted straight back in. Spurias require moisture when out of the ground. You can't just leave them out of the ground like a bearded iris. They need to be damp, basically. They don't like to dry out. That one worked a bit better. Planting them roughly 20-25 centimetres apart, and the row is always 3 wide. So with these guys, you can see where they were at soil depth before they come out of the ground. These have been planted in the space where they were 2 to 3 years. So they've settled nicely. So you can see this white part is where they're deep in the soil. And as it starts getting light green, that changes, so they were up to that sort of soil depth, and then the dark green from there is where they've been getting sunlight and they're not planted. You know, you don't plant something up to that deep. So this white part here is the marker that tells you how deep to plant them. These bigger pieces I just cannot push in, they're too big. So the little one, once again, I'm only pushing it in like no more than 5 centimeters. Just a little bit under the soil. My sunny's popped down. Looking at the bare rhizome, you can see which way you need to plant it because the fibrous roots have still got little tiny pieces hanging out the bottom. So I'm not going to plant it in like that because this is where the roots were, so I'm turning it over. The ridges across here running, it tells me that that's the top of the rhizome. Once again, the fibrous roots on the bottom, turn it over, there's the ridges, and that's what gets planted the right way up. The soil is very heavy at the moment. It's quite difficult to plant. And when I've got one piece left, like this one, I put it in the middle of the clump at the back. And then when we plant the next one up, it'll go back here and go down that way. Take my glove off, get my sunnies out of the way. Alright, well hopefully you enjoyed this short video on how to plant Spuria. See you next time.